Hello and welcome to the Anime Dumpster Dive Seasonal Anime Podcast, where we discuss an anime that is currently airing. Today we'll be discussing the final episodes of The Rising of the Shield Hero. Where do we go from here? I'm your host and Shield Hero Jake H. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and Spear Hero DJ.
Hello!
And my other co-host and Bow Hero, Anthony.
Hey!
I'm recycling those ones that I used in the first seasonal episode of the seasonal podcast because we got our new, I guess not new, but our thumbnail art is done by our buddy Gare, and it has us in those costumes, and that's
Nice.
really cool of him to do.
Thank you, Kirsten. Thank you.
Well, I mean, it's going to be the thumbnail for this video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Garrison.
Thank you, Garrison.
All right. So, we have a lot to talk about because we haven't talked about like the last 4 episodes, but we really don't have to go into that. We can just talk about the whole island arc and the finale. And so let's just go ahead and dive on into it.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'll be honest.
Ready.
When I heard that they were going to like an island to level up, I was like, this part's gonna suck. But I enjoyed it a lot. I
It
liked it a
didn't
lot.
suck that bad.
It didn't. I thought it had what I liked about like the first few episodes, where it was like subtle world building, where they're like where his shield can now make weapons for his party, which I thought was really cool. Like
It also didn't end up being just a random beach arc. It turned out to be that's the locale of the finale. So
Mhm.
I thought that was fine.
yeah, it didn't
I
take away
didn't
from the
hate
plot.
it.
No, not at all. I liked the setting. Immediately when they showed up and they met the mayor guy, though, I was like, that guy's evil.
That guy's
He
pretty
looked
evil.
evil. He looked evil.
Yeah. Why would they design him that way if he never? He's definitely returning. He's pure evil.
What about Lark or Lark?
He's
The
cool.
Ark and what was the gem lady?
Therese.
Therese.
Yeah.
I like them. I like their designs. I liked how they were at first. I like them a lot.
I think they're coolio.
I did too. I like the introduction. I think that we've had those two, well, not necessarily those two, but
Just him.
that character teased in the intro for a while now, so it was cool to finally see it. Like that was
I love the Shield Hero intros, but man, do they have a bad habit of showing a character and us never fucking seeing that character until the end of this end of the arc.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Next opening, we'll know that there's somebody in there we're not going to see for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of these characters we won't see until like halfway through right at the end of the season.
Right at the end.
Super cool. Did we get confirmed for a season 2?
Nothing confirmed yet.
Oh,
We're canceled.
Canceled. Done.
oh,
Okay.
we're James Charles. Oh no.
Just like James Charles. Speaking of James Charles, what do you guys think of Melty?
What do I think of Melt? Good segue. I think. I'm gonna say this much. I think it's still fucking weird she's in the show
At all.
at all. I think it's weird that they like. I get that they gave her like an adventurer name, like oh well, like you're Princess Bitch and Slut Adventurer, and so I was like, oh, that's just gonna be the end of it. But no, she's still adventuring with Moriyasu and is still there, which is really weird.
She's allowed.
She's allowed.
I said Melty. What
Oh,
is
I
her
thought
name?
I thought you said Malty.
I thought yeah.
Melty and Malty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're so the same. They're so similar. No, I would have called her bitch or whore. I don't know her name.
I thought it was cute that she joined back up with them for the final fight, which I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah.
But I kind of missed her in this one, just because it seemed like at the beginning of the second half of this season that she was really meshing with the main cast, and then they kind of just took her out.
Wrote her out a little bit.
I
yeah.
agree. I agree with that.
So
I thought it was neat that they brought her back, and she's kind of when you think about like cool backstories for like kings and queens and princes and stuff like that, it's kind of just like you know, it's cool to kind of have that adventuring background. You know, at least for, I don't know.
You think
Like-
it'll be good on her resume?
Yeah, I think so. She's like, well, I'm gonna rule the country. Oh, I see here you adventured with a shield hero.
Who is she applying to?
The country of
She's a
Isn't it kind of a monarchy? I don't think she
yeah.
has to apply.
No. It's not a monarchy.
She's already
It's
got the job.
matriarchy.
It's a matriarchy.
Monarchy can be a major.
Yeah, monarchy can be a matriarchy.
Yeah. Her and Malty, her and the bitch are sitting, you know, side by side. Like, good luck on your interview.
I don't think bitch is gonna succeed with it.
Bitch is probably on a no hire list.
Not a good name to rule a country with.
There was a part where it took me a while to piece together, but I actually really like. It's when they kill like the penguin boss, and Nafumi's like, we got some weird drops from it, and then they never show what the drop is, and then like there's that scene where him and Raftalia are in the penguin suits. And I
Yeah,
went,
yeah.
that's what they got.
That's the weird drop.
That was the weird drop.
Now
I love
you
this
gotta
show for
fight
that.
King Penguin.
I love this show for that. It's like, it's effectively cute and interesting. I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it.
And then of course we get something that well, at least I personally have been looking forward to, which was another wave. And whereas this wave made me like happy because I got to see some progression out of like Lark, Glass, and Therese, I as annoyed, to say the least, with the other three heroes. They got like one-shotted and then disappeared, and then they were on the other boat, and I was really upset.
They fucking suck.
It's like they're not even like. I thought for sure after the whole Pope arc that it was like, oh, now the show's gonna bring them in more, and it's like, nope, no, they're still they're now even more the Three Stooges.
I like that they didn't bring it in quick. I think that's an arc that needs more time to develop.
Okay.
We've kind of teased that too, you know, not to spoil too much, but yeah, they kind of tease it, you know, there at the very end, you know, at least for Ren, right? You know,
Yeah, where he goes like, I'll be stronger than Nafumi. And Moriyasu kind of has some growth where he's like, where he's telling Mine to like calm down.
yeah, right. Well, we should go there sometime.
Like we should visit him. Which I guess might as well jump to that part right now before we talk about the Glass and stuff. But Anthony, didn't the end kind of remind you of Slime a little bit? Where he kind of just gets a whole village, like
Yeah,
Dedicated.
it does. Yeah,
where it reminded me of Slime. I also remember like talking about this and DJ talking about it earlier in these videos that when he was playing those like Civ games that he might get something like that where he'd be good at it, and I think it's cool that he does have his own village now. Just kind of be curious to see how that grows.
That's where it starts, is with a village.
yeah. I'm curious to see how they kind of go with that too. So, like, are all of the townspeople going to be in his party? How are they going to grow? You know, are we going to see some transformations that kind of occur, you know, to Raftalia, to some of these other demi-humans? Like, it's going to be cool
None
to
of
see.
those things are going to happen.
I think
You don't think so?
I think Demi-Human Boy is going to join the party at some point.
I think so too, yeah.
He
I
has
think-
too unique of a design.
Maybe that. I just think it's going to be his little home base. I don't think they're going to do much with it.
Well, Kung Fu Grandma.
I don't think it's going to be World Conqueror.
No, I
Kung
think
Fu
it's gonna be
Grandma
World
and
Conqueror.
Sorceress Lady.
and Herb Guy.
Like, if it goes on long enough, we might have like they're attacking my home and we got to all defend it together, and then Kung Fu Grandma and everybody gets involved. But for just fighting the waves main party, I don't think any of
Yeah,
those people.
I don't think.
Despite maybe Demi-Human Boy, he's kind of a little bitch looking character though, so I don't think he's cool enough to be in the party.
You don't think he's cool enough to be in the party? What about-
He looks like a weakling.
I mean, what about? It looks like he just adopted a new weakling in Rishia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know the party only needs one weakling, so
Apparently, only needs one week. Well, she'll get strong, and then he can get a new weakling.
And then hopefully, yeah.
What do you guys think
Speaking
about...
of Risha,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, it looked like you actually had a segue, so go for it.
Yeah. Speaking of Risha, I like how they introduced her. I thought that she was cute from the moment that they brought her on screen. It's perfect.
I think she's cool.
I think she's cool too.
I do kind of like how she was kind of just forced to help because she was in a boat constantly.
And Melty drops right on top of her. Is like,
Yeah, she's like, "Now take me over there." And she's like, And then she makes it back, and they're like, "Now take these barrels over there." And she's like, "Fucking A."
Well, she had the wind power that they needed.
Yep. It was okay. So let's talk about that wave fight. Did you guys get surprised with the Lark and Therese reveal? Do you think
I knew
Heel
something
turn?
was up.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Either he was gonna die or betray them or something.
I did not think that he was a hero. I was still kind of latching onto that. I thought that he might have just been somebody who was pretty excessively strong in that world, which I would have thought that would have been pretty cool. Not necessarily like the Scythe hero, or something like that, but it was cool. I liked that. I liked his design. I thought that it was cool. I didn't see the heel turn coming though.
I figured he had to have been part of something when Nafumi is like, "Hey, do you want to party up again?" And him and Therese were like, "No." Kind of gave him that look. I was like, "They baddies."
They were fishy. Either they were the moments where he was like, blah, 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 and I'll show you how to be a great guy all the time. Let's go have drinks, Nafumi. I was like, okay, this guy's being set up to die. But then the other times when they were mysterious, I was like, okay, these guys are baddies.
And I am big on giving credit where credit is due on this. And so, firstly, I would like to give DJ credit on calling an alternate world, alternate universe group of people.
Oh yeah, baby.
When
the
we
hot
first,
take.
Yep, when we first saw Glass. Granted, the rest of that hot take was something along the king banging a demon.
No, that was my first Glass hot take. I believe my alternate universe hot take was later. I think the first time we saw later we talked about her again, and I did the universe hot take.
Okay.
My first Glass hot take though was that the king slept with a demon outside of wedlock with his wife, and Glass is his child. Yeah,
okay.
And she's part of the demon realm or something like that. I don't remember, but the second one though was turned out to be correct.
And then there was also my hot take where I said that maybe they were kind of heroes. I did not say from an alternate world like DJ, so that's where I have to give him on that one. But I did say that heroes by saying fan hero, scythe hero, and book hero, because I thought Therese had a book in the opening, but no, she's stones.
I thought you were calling that one weird bob haircut guy the book hero.
No, I was calling Therese.
I gotcha. She's in the opening?
Yeah, she's in the opening. She's flying in the air. It looks like Melty because her hair is red.
Oh yeah,
Or
she's
Malty,
casting spells,
sorry.
huh?
Yeah, she's casting a spell. So, yeah. And then Anthony got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's okay. You
Not
so
for
you
Anthony.
can't hit home runs all the time.
I'm still banking on demon daughter.
Daughter. That's the ultimate. That's the end game. No one knows about it. The author heard that and went, fuck.
The
Someone
king
figured
went
it out.
into the other dimension and had the child with the demon. And that's what Glass is.
What I want to know is how are they able to be there outside of the wave? That part's not necessarily explained.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like how is Lark and Therese? How are they there?
Magic.
Well, it's, to be fair, they were really close to the wave, so maybe they can only be there a certain amount of time, and they got there early to I don't know. It seems like they really just got there early to get powered up.
I think it's just some random magic that hasn't been described yet.
That too.
And we might see Naofumi going into the other world and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And also that opens the door for people we've potentially met already being the other secret, like, evil heroes.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's kind of cool to introduce like another.
Well, Lark was just walking around, so who else that's just walking around could be on their team,
Right. Yeah, because there should be 4 of them,
I
right?
don't think
Or did
Therese
they say that?
is a hero either.
No, you don't think Teresa's a hero?
No, I think she's one of their party members.
Oh. Do you think Lark? Oh, you know what? Now I think about it, Lark, Scythe, and Glass's
They
fans have the
gems on them. Yeah.
And she doesn't. Oh, good. Good
That
call.
is a good point. Maybe they can only pick 2.
No, I think there's 2 more that are yet to be revealed.
What do you guys think those weapons are? I'm banking on
Fans, Jake.
Book. On Book Hero.
Listen, all right. I know you're a big fan of the librarian, okay, but that's not going to happen.
I think it's Slave Hero.
Slave hero? You think the slave trader's a hero?
Yeah.
No way.
Slave Hero and who knows? Someone else. King Hero.
I was gonna say, what did the mayor have? The mayor of that
King Hero and Queen Hero.
So what did that one evil-looking mayor have on him?
It could be a real long con by the Queen.
That she's like, I tricked you to unite, so that way you could fight me.
Joke's on you.
Haha.
I mean, then the
Hammer
people of
hero.
Melremark would not know what to do.
They'd be
you know.
confused. They'd be confuzzled. And something.
Gun Hero.
What'd you say?
Gun Hero.
Gun hero.
Gun and hammer
Well,
hero.
their range is probably fan. And then spear is like scythe. So you're thinking maybe sword hero and like shield hero. So a defensive hero.
Mhm.
Turtle hero.
Turtle. He just grabs a turtle.
Just fucking Master Roshi.
And something I've been actually curious, as soon as I finished it, I know me and Anthony talked about it a little bit, like outside of the podcast, about how we both thought it was a very good wrap-up for, like, I said very similar to, like, a ending of book 1 of a series. I think, Anthony, you agreed with that.
I do agree with that.
And,
Not perfect, but good.
Yeah. So I was going to ask DJ with you, because you are probably the biggest criticizer of season endings.
Season endings, I am huge on it. Yeah.
So I was going to ask, like, you said it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
It was good. It wasn't great. I mean, there's no real close, right? They beat them and then they go back to their world. There's a big reveal in the last episode. It relies so heavily on there as being a season 2. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all season 1s should exist in their own little universe and be able to not need further continuation to be able to tell a story correctly. So I maybe would have preferred if, like, this ended. They could have revealed that they're from another universe, but they could have been calling this wave, like, the final wave. And then, like, you could throw in an offhand line like, we'll see you again, or something like that from the other heroes. But really end it as if, like, where the world thinks that Naofumi has succeeded, or the heroes have succeeded and they're safe. It needs an actual ending instead of, this feels like we could pick up again. This feels like just like, what was it, episode 12, where he beats Glass and you're like, ooh, what's going to happen next, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is thinking, ooh, what's going to happen next in season 2, instead of going, wow, okay, that was great. That was a good ending. It didn't feel like an ending. It felt like we're just waiting on a continuation. And I think they need to, Star Wars is the perfect example. They could have never made a sequel and it would have been okay. They don't defeat Darth Vader, but they blow up the Death Star. They succeed in this giant goal. They all get their medals at the end. There's this little happy celebration. You could have easily ended it there and no one would have been pissed. If they ended Shield Hero here, everyone would be furious. So that's what I feel about. See, after season 1, season 2, you can cliffhang all you fucking want, because now you're into it. You're into the shit now. But season 1 needs to exist in its own little bubble.
I was going to have a criticism of that, but then I kind of remembered, like, an anime that is getting a lot of praise right now is Attack on Titan. And I kind of remember the first season of Attack on Titan's ending, and that kind of had a open and shut, like, case. And then there was, like, a tiny teaser at the end credits. And then I was like, oh. And now every season after that has kind of been cliffhangery. So I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, they could have ended it right there, and you wouldn't have been mad, huh?
Yeah.
You'd have been like, well, they had the teaser, but looks like they didn't get the season 2. The story that I watched.
That's how I went.
Yeah, the story that I watched wrapped itself up just fine.
Well, like, because 4 years between season 1 and season 2, I was like, oh,
it's not happening.
No, it's not happening.
That's hilarious. I'd say for to try and play like both sides of the coin there, there wasn't a lot though that got left unanswered. Like what large questions when you think about like a very cliffhangery kind of ending or certain seasons that leave a lot to be desired for their season finale where they do play into heavily saying that there needs to be a season 2. Like what questions were left unanswered? Mostly that they came from another world, and
It's not
like
questions, it's the storyline itself. They didn't. Nobody won. They both were like, "We'll see you again." Naofumi's like, "I need to figure out what if I'm going to stay in this world," or he decides he's going to stay in the world. He straight up says so many times there's going to be more waves. There was no winner. There was no end at all. That's it's not unanswered questions. They did fine in that regard. I don't think I need anything. There's nothing where I'm like, well, what the fuck at all,
Yeah.
But as far as an open and shut case, it just relies on season 2 to be able to tell a complete story. The story is in no way complete.
Yeah, I could agree. I can definitely agree with that. I think that if they tried to squeeze everything into season 1, though, I think it would have felt, I don't know, I think it would have felt like rushed.
You didn't have to squeeze all of season 2 into season 1. You just needed to change the feeling of that last fight a little bit. If the characters involved thought that this was the finale, and then afterwards they have a little celebration, you don't have to show them defeating the enemy. You don't have, Glass could say, "I'll get you again, Naofumi," and then goes back to her world, But as long as like the world at large is like, we did it, we defeated the waves. Naofumi's a hero. The cardinal heroes did it, and then maybe you can, like Jake said, you can throw in a little thing that's like, but if we did it, then why aren't we at our own? Why didn't we disappear? And then it like cuts away or something.
I don't know. No, absolutely not. Because then I would be sitting here listening to DJ saying, they just ended season 1 on a fucking cliffhanger, and it would have sucked.
No, they didn't end it on a cliffhanger. Is
no,
like
no, like that. If they did it that way, if they did it that way,
I would not have, dude.
Yeah, you would have.
A cliffhanger would be like Glass going, "Let's start the fight," and then it fucking cuts away. That's what you do with season 2. That's not a cliffhanger at all.
That's I don't
stinger at the end. That's a little stinger at the end that's like, but we're planning on a season 2. Like, you want to wrap up season 1. Everyone's like, we did it. We succeeded. And then add in a little thing maybe. You don't even need it. But add in a little thing maybe that's like, but stay tuned for season 2, like, because we're planning on it. And that way people aren't like, oh, it was only 1 season long, because people are dumb.
I feel that, like, DJ's like notes on like how season ones should end have a hard time being adapted into anime, just because so much anime is based off source material that either they know that they're going to adapt the rest of the source material, or they know that there's a shot at adapting the rest of the source material, so they kind of just go the way the source material is written, whereas others know that there's no shot of adapting the source material, so they just kind of go like 10 episodes into the source material and then bullshit an ending for those last 2 episodes.
It's hard with seasons too. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't remember if the old anime that I watched came out in seasons. I don't remember if they did or not, But for me, I always thought of it as like more arcs. like JoJo and like Dragon Ball Z and stuff, the arcs that I remember wrapped themselves up really well.
Well, yeah, because JoJo's...
But I don't know if that was all one season. Like if you look at DBZ all the way up till Frieza, that wraps really really well. Like they did it. Like everything's fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next season starts, or the next arc starts, and there's new stuff to battle and to be answered. But I don't remember if that was a season. In DBZ, it seems like it was way too long for it to be just one season of anime.
Yeah. Well, that one's actually... Yeah, because I think even looking at it now, like, just the Saiyan Saga is like 70 episodes or whatever, right?
Yeah, but like to me, that was in a different time a little bit, you know? Where shit just went seasons. Like, you just kept releasing episodes every week. Because you had like this, you know... You had syndication on this channel, and you just went forever and ever. Whereas now, like, they have this clear structure of usually 12 episodes.
Yeah, and like, and JoJo would just go until the current like JoJo character story ended. So I get how, like, again, that would work for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like there was like no breaks until like that character series was done.
It's just, I think that is it's not a rule of writing, but it's a very, very common technique that's used, and I think that it's used to when used correctly, it's used to great effect, and it should be done that way. I can't think of any like great story or series of stories that doesn't do it that way. Or even video games, like, I can't think of anything that doesn't use that strategy.
Yeah,
it's just, you build the world, and then in Season 2, you really crack the egg open for people. You know, in the second book or the second game, you really open it up.
I get that. I think that using the DBZ references are pretty good. That's a pretty good reference.
It's okay. It's an okay reference.
No, I mean it's just like
you have
all
to watch
things
like 100 fucking episodes before.
Yeah, but still, and it's like those are standalone things. They don't just like tie in. You know, they don't tie in Cell to Boo and Boo to or you know vice versa. Like there's no continuation. They're standalone. In themselves.
Yeah, everything would have been fine. Yeah. I mean, ideally, after the first season, you kind of do tie it together a little bit. You can go a little crazy with it from there. Like Lord of the Rings is a good example. If you consider The Hobbit the first one, like that introduces you to the world. The storyline wraps itself up just fine, but they introduce you to concepts that they expand upon in the next one, and in the next one they really crack it open, and they go crazy with it. And then the next one, if you read The Hobbit and then Fellowship of the Ring, and then it ended. You'd be like, what? Keep going. Come on. And, like, I hate when that's the feeling I have after Season 1. I'm like, come on. Where's Season 2? I want to feel fulfilled and, like, I watch the story.
You don't want to have that urge to watch another season?
I do, kind of. But I definitely... It's better to have that urge. It's better to not have that urge than to have it and there not be a fucking season.
Oh, okay. What I'm mainly, I guess, what I'm understanding is you want to be, after you finish a season, you went on and be like, that was good. I hope there's a second. Not, what the fuck? Now there needs to be a second.
Yeah, that's exactly what. And if there is a second, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. And versus the other one, I'm like, God damn it, get the second season on right now.
I think that you are in the same party of pretty much all of the anime community in that sense. So that's normal. You know, before I was like, fucking freak. Why you think that? No, I'm just kidding. No, I think that it's having those type of stories like Dragon Maid. Like, thank God that's going to get another season 2. And would I have been just fine with Season 1? Because they do wrap up fairly well in Season 1. Would I have been just fine with getting it? Yeah. But I'm a little upset that it took them so long to say that there was going to be a season 2.
I'm like, there's so many other anime that took so much longer.
That's very true.
That example holds true for countless great animes. Like Yuri on Ice is that way. The season wraps up great. They could never make a sequel and it would be fine. But I would be stoked if they came out with a season 2.
Yeah.
So I guess our final thoughts on this, guys. Anthony, you know what? No, fuck it. I let DJ talk a lot in this, so I might as well let him do this part. DJ, how do we do our ratings?
for a rating for anime?
Yeah, what's our rating system?
Well, first and foremost, we've got the biggie boy, the big man. You take the anime, you crunch it all up, you skyhook it across the room, and it lands right in the garbo. Then you take it and you throw it out into the dump, and you say, "Get out of my life, anime! I hate you! I hate you!" And the anime's like, "I don't want to go," and you start throwing rocks at it, and you're like, "Get away! Go!
You white fang the anime."
Yeah, but it's not because you love it so much. It's because you hate it so much you want to throw rocks at it and make it hurt and die. Right?
Oh, no.
Okay, the second one is like a little baby that you find in the street, and you nurture it. You nurture it back to health, and then that baby turns to you and says, "I know you love me, but we can't have a good relationship forever because I got to go free all of Egypt." And you're like, "What are you talking about? I don't understand."
Did you recently watch Prince of Egypt?
So then it's like you have an okay relationship with the anime, but you really were just renting it. You know, you didn't own it. You didn't. It was a middling experience you had with this anime. And then the last one is an anime you finished college, and in one of your last classes of the semester, you met a beautiful woman, and you guys have everything in common, and you go on a couple dates, and those dates turn into more dates, and it turns out that you're pretty sure this is the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with. And one thing leads to another. You've been dating for a long time. You decide to move in together, and you have your fights. You have your fights a little bit, but everything's great, and live with each other for a couple years. All your friends love her. The mom and dad like her as well. So you finally decide to pop the question. You get married. It's a beautiful wedding. You go on a beautiful honeymoon. And then a couple of years later down the road, you decide that you think it's time to start a family. You look at your life and you say, "I got a pretty stable job. I got a pretty good income. My wife is doing really well in her career, and I support her in that career 100%, even though she makes more money than I do." And you guys decide to have a kid, and that kid, that's the best.
That's the anime. The kid's the anime. I thought the girl was the anime.
All the animes were kids. That was the whole rating system. One of them was a dumpster. Yeah, you crushed him up and threw him in the dumpster. And when he said, "Please don't leave me," he threw rocks at him so he would go away. Yeah, that's the first one. That's like that's Diabolical Clovers right there.
Oh man, Anthony! Every time you just let me do it. You don't.
Listen, man.
We had the grand finale of Shield Hero. I decided I'll have a grand finale of explaining the rating system.
I guess for the sake of it, because overall it's not a bad description. I guess the order in which DJ said it was trash, recycling, bin, find. So we'll just keep his descriptions of it, and let's move on up to it. Anthony,
let's do it.
What are your thoughts on Shield Hero?
Is it Dumpster Baby?
is it Dumpster Baby, Moses, or Planned Child?
Okay, all right. Well, I'd say that from start to finish, the Rising of the Shield Hero is a story that I believe could get anybody invested in anime. I think that for what it's worth, the characters, the character development, the scene, the background imagery, and certain show elements that they introduce into the show itself just are a fully encompassing experience for any anime viewer. And I think that you wouldn't be wasting your time if you watch this show. In fact, I think that this will be a show that you go on to remember. If not, you would put it on some of your most favorite watched, anime of all time. The characters are absolutely lovable. The music, as well as the imagery that is used throughout the show, are fully encompassing, and just they just envelop you into this world that is created in front of you over a 25-episode season. I look forward to the releases every single week. I think that the show is absolutely a find. It's probably one of the better ones that we have watched, and you should stop what you're doing right now and go watch it. It is certainly a find.
Somewhere out
taking
there,
care
a
of
man
your
crashed
sick
his
child.
car
Yeah.
to go watch this anime. All right,
What if you're currently doing open heart surgery, Anthony,
Stop what you're doing.
and you for some reason listen to this podcast?
Stop
to
what you're
help you
doing.
relax?
Some open heart surgeons like
Stop what you're doing.
like screw Mozart. I need anime dumpster dive. All right, DJ.
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's good. It's real good. It pulls you right in at the very beginning. It keeps you invested. It's definitely more of a binge show than a weekly show, I think. When we talk about the new age of media and how a show can be more bingey than week to week. That the reason behind that is because I think some episodes are real low. And, like, when you wait a whole week for that episode, you're like, well, that was lame for it to be that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the whole season at your disposal, you're like, well, fuck that episode, on to the next one, So you could watch, like, if you could watch, like, 4 or 5 episodes at a time, and then if one of them's boring, you can watch another one to really keep you invested, rather than getting disappointed a weekend because there was a boring episode. But it's really good. They build a world really well. They appeal to a wide variety of audiences. I think people who like RPG video games will like this. I think people that like fantasy animes will like this. And I don't think you have to like both. I just think it appeals to a wide variety of people. I think it's definitely a planned child. Yeah.
You fuck.
Welcome to Anime Child Rearing. All right, but wow, that's good. What can I say that hasn't been said already? And now I'm realizing the pain I always put our guests through whenever I make them last. And I don't know, I think this is the first time I've gone last. But without reiterating what you guys have said, I love isekai anime. I love them a lot. Like, one of my favorite anime of all time is Re:Zero. And I feel like this show is great. I think it does isekai different than Re:Zero, and I think it does it perfect. Like, it may not be the best show, but I think it's like the perfect isekai, where it has a man go to another world and just kind of really experience it. And I loved every minute of watching him do it. And the characters are all great. I don't think there was a single main character that showed up and I went, wow, I hope this character has less screen time. I think it was actually the opposite, where I wanted to know more about every main character that showed up. And even some side characters who I extremely disliked, I still really wanted to see more of. So for me, this is also a find. And since we all said it was a find, and this is probably the first time we've all agreed on a seasonal one since Killing Bites. Better than Killing Bites?
Ooh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Tough one. I'd say yes.
Yeah. All right, so our new king of seasonal anime is Shield Hero. And
But Killing Bites has the boob factor.
yeah, Killing Bites also had the sexy character factor. But I mean, if you're going to tell me you watched Shield Hero and didn't think that scene where Nafumi's wearing an open shirt. Anyway.
That's true.
Oh.
That got me going. That got my motor running.
That was a little
Shield
racy.
Hero had you rising.
It's a little... Oh, okay, Jake. I see what you did there.
I needed a shield for that one, if you know what I mean.
All right. Thanks for keeping up with us as we watched 20. We went through 25 weeks of Rising of the Shield Hero, and it was a great journey. Join us next season for our next seasonal anime, which is going to be Fire Force. And for those of you who don't know, it's an anime made by the creator of Soul Eater about supernatural firefighters fighting like demon fire.
That sounds pretty cool.
I cannot
Looks
wait.
pretty awesome. I'm excited. I'm also excited for Kobe and Jeff at the Nerd Blaze to inevitably do it as well and get more views on it.
Does it have boobies, that one?
I think it might.
There we go.
Soul Eater,
Okay, I'm in.
Soul Eater had Blair, and she was kind of fan servicey throughout.
Yeah.
So maybe. All right. See you next season.
Bye-bye.